everyone, welcome back to our channel, Edutainment Solution. Today we'll be looking at our paper 2 case study for October-November, that is the third paper 2. As you can see, we have 2, 3 here, and we must answer everything on this paper, that is every question that we have here. And don't forget, we usually have a separate appendix here for our paper 2. If you can see our previous video, you can testify to that. Here we have Benji's builders, but let's see what we have in our question first before we can consider to use the appendix, or should we just read it out before we start? Okay, I can see you want us to read them out. Okay, in order not to waste our time, we just read as fast as possible to go back to our question. Okay, Benji is experienced in building houses, that is Benji's builder. We have BP in case we were given the abbreviation in the question. So you have known what the BB is. Now, Benji is experienced in building houses. He worked for a building company for 15 years in country X. Okay, Benji has decided to start his own house building business, which will be called what? BB. His main objective is to make a profit. He plans to invite his father and sister to invest in the business partnership. All three of them will each invest $30,000 to start BB. However, Benji thinks BB may need more investment as it expands. Benji will be the manager as his father and his sister do not want to be involved in the running of the business. Benji's son has a physical disability, as there were not many houses suitable for his son's needs. He decided to build a specially designed house. This gives Benji the idea to specialize in building houses designed to meet the need of people with disabilities. All right? He does not know the demand for this type of house and plans to carry out market research to estimate the size of the market. There are currently no other businesses in country X which specialize in building houses for people with disability. The houses will be designed for the individual needs of each customer. BB will use job production. Okay, the houses will be built of timber and have metal roofs. The timber BB uses will be what? Will be imported. Good quality materials will always be used, so the houses are of the highest quality. Benji needs to decide which pricing method to use when selling the houses. Benji plans to employ 8 workers with specialist building skills and 2 unskilled workers who will need to be told what to do. He will need to do what? We need to decide which leadership style to use with his employees. Benji also has to decide which type of house to build first. He has 2 options. The first house to be built will be used in advertising and will be available for potential customers to visit. House A is designed for people with visual difficulties, and House B is designed for people with physical difficulties. Appendix 2 contains financial information and what? Financial information about these 2 options. Okay, this is where is our appendix 2? Okay, we have it. This for house A and this for house B. House A for people with visual difficulty and house B for people with physical difficulty. Now, before we move far in this appendix, let's go to our question here. Our question here says, explain 4 differences between a partnership and what? And a limited company or a limited liability company. It can be either private limited liability company or a public limited liability company. Now, what is the difference between these two type of business? Okay, which one comes to your mind? Let's try and put the text. Which one? Okay, difference in liability. Let's say liability difference in liability. Let's say difference in what? In liability. Now let's try and define this in our own way and let's see how they are different. In partnership, partnership has unlimited liability. That is, their personal possessions can be taken to pay their business debt, whereas the limited liability, their own personal possessions are not at risk. Let's try and type that out. In partnership, the owner have what? They have unlimited liability. Which means, let's try and put the explanation before we can, which means their personal what? Their personal possessions can be used to pay business debts. Why? Let's put why limited company. Why limited company has a limited liability and their own personal possession are safe, and their what? And their personal, let's say, and personal possessions are safe. That's it. That's the first difference in a partnership. Okay, let's try and correct this. I don't know what is wrong here. Okay. And there, let's leave it as personal possession because I've deleted the first one. Okay, why limited company as that's the first difference. Now another difference is what? The source of capital. Yes, the source of capital is also a difference that you can find between partnership and a limited company. How do we have it? Of course, partnership has capital from owner saving. Let's say source of capital. Let's try and put the text and we'll be explaining at the same time. We have source of capital. Okay, source of capital. Okay, now let's try and put the difference. As I said earlier, in partnership, capital can be raised through what? Through owner saving. Through what? Through owner's savings or more. Why in limited liability company can sell share? Why a limited liability company? Why a limited liability company can sell share to raise capital? Yes. Why a limited liability can sell shares to raise capital? Okay, the one that comes to your mind is also what? The legal formalities. Yes, it is also a difference between a partnership and a limited liability. Okay, let's try and put it out also. The legal what? The legal formalities. Of course, in partnership, we know partnership is an unincorporated business because there is no separate legal identity between the owner and the business. Since partnership is just an agreement between two people. Okay, partnership, let's say partnership is an unincorporated business as there is no separate, as there is no partnership. This is partnership. Yes, partnership is an unincorporated business as there is no what? There is no separate identity. There is no separate identity between the owner and the business. There is no separate identity between the owners and the business. Why a limited company? Why a limited company? Of course, it is an incorporated, not unincorporated, as a separate what? As a separate legal identity. They have legal identity. Yes. As a separate legal. Let's use a partnership. Okay. Separate. Now, another difference is what? The continuity. Yes, that's correct. You also have the continuity as the difference. In partnership, the death of a partner can also be the end of the business, unlike a limited liability company where the share can be easily transferred to others even after the death of the shareholders. Now let's try and type out also. We have the continuity as the difference too. Yes, the continuity. And the explanation below here. Okay. Let's say partnership ends with the what? The death of a partner. Why in limited liability company, shares can be what? Can be transferred. It can be transferred to others even after the death of the shareholders. You have differentiate it. Now we have the continuity as the difference. We have the legal formalities. We have the what? We have the source of capital, and we also have the difference in liabilities. Of course, others can also include the management too. It include the management. Now let us move to the next question. What do we have? Let's see. Okay, this is our question 1A. We were told that BB used leadership style in the appendix. Now here we were told to consider 3 leadership styles that Benji could use when managing BB, that is Benji's building. Which leadership style should Benji use? Justify your answer. Okay, can you mention the three types of leadership that we have. Okay, autocratic, okay, democratic, and what? And laissez-faire. Okay, now let's try and put out this one after the other and bring out some points about them. The first one we mentioned is what? Autocratic leadership. Autocratic what? Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership and autocratic leadership. Now let's see other points that we can bring out under this autocratic leadership style before we can move to our democratic leadership. Of course, in autocratic leadership style, the manager decides by his or herself without putting the idea of the employees into consideration. Now let's see what we can find here. Of course, the man, when deciding on his own, he will keep himself separate from the employee. Let's say the manager will keep himself separate from the employee. Can decide to put the application that we have. How many employees does BB has? Can we see it here in this? Let's try and check. How many employees do we have? Okay, we have 8 workers and 2 unskilled workers. That makes it 10. Can put from what? From the 10 employees to add your application. From the 10 employees, that's the first one. And using autocratic leadership style, decision making will also be quicker. Let's say decision making will be quicker. It should be quicker and faster, as the manager did not need to wait for what? Not need to wait for the employees before he or she can make any decision. And one disadvantage that you can find here is the communication. That is, the employees will not take any part in the decision and it can be demotivating. Okay, let's say when employees are not taking part in any decisions, about the building, let's say about the house building, it can be demotivating. Yes, of course. Now let us see for democratic leadership. We have seen here 2 advantages and 1 advantage or 1 disadvantage of using this autocratic leadership style. The second leadership style we mentioned is what? Democratic leadership style. That is, here employees is involved in the decision making by the business. Democratic leadership. Democratic leadership style. Okay, let's try and bring out some point 2 under democratic leadership style. Let's say, as I said, employees employees feel more involved. They feel more involved in the what? In the business, because the decision is made by the employees and the manager. And also they will be motivated. Yes, the employees will be motivated. Employees will be motivated when they are involved in decision making. Involved in decision making. When they are involved in decision making. Boss, here what can be the first disadvantages here is that waiting for an employee to contribute may be time consuming. Let's say it may be time consuming to ask employees, and this can actually reduce the work carried out by them. Yes, okay. Now let's see for leadership style. Of course, not all the decisions made by these employees will be accepted. Sometimes unpopular decisions may need to be made and employees' ideas may be ignored. Okay, let's see for laissez-faire leadership style 2. And let's see what points we have before we can justify our answer based on the one we choose. Okay, our leadership style. No, I'm not dragging this. I want to take this. Okay, laissez-faire. Okay, laissez-faire leadership style. Let's try and drag this up so that you can put the point underneath. Okay, here the manager put the decision fully with the employee. Yes. The manager has little involvement in the decision being made here in this style. Yes, let's say main objective of the business may be shared with the employees. Using laissez-faire leadership style, where the manager has little involvement in the decisions being made. Of course, the employees will feel valued and trusted. Let's say the employees, okay, our test has gone. Let's try and fix this back. The employees will feel valued. The employee will feel, the employees will feel valued, and trusted to take decision. And also the employees can be creative to take decisions. Okay. The second one is the employees can be creative with fresh ideas about how to build houses more quickly. Let's say employees can be creative with, fresh or new ideas about how to build houses more quickly. Okay, let's try and see what this laissez-faire can bring as a disadvantage. Of course, using laissez-faire communication with the manager and employees will be difficult as the manager has little involvement in the decision making. Let's try and write it out also. Communication between the manager and the employees can be difficult as the what? As the manager has a little involvement, a little involvement in the decision taken by the employees. Yes. Okay, now what should be our recommendation according to what we have for BJ's building? That is the BB. Okay, which one do you think Benji should use when we want to build his house? And don't forget, they have to meet each customer different need, so they have to be more creative here. Okay, which one do you think we should use? Correct. Benji should use laissez-faire leadership style. Why do you think so? Let's try and type it out and see our reason. Let's try and type it out and see our reason for using laissez-faire leadership style. Okay. Let's see laissez-faire leadership is suitable. Let's say it's suitable because each customer will have their own different needs, and when the employees are making the decision, they can actually be more creative and solving the problem of the customer, because each customer have very different needs. They have very different needs, and the employees can be more creative, and be more creative since they are making the decision. And using this to build the house, the business will gain more customers. The business will gain more. Yes, we have put your recommendation here as it is. If you are using democratic, also you will give out your reasons for choosing democratic leadership, and also at the same time the autocratic leadership style. Okay, since we have answered that, let's see what we have in the next question. This one is build. Used to build the house. The house very different. Okay, let's see what we have in our next question. Okay, we have question 2A. In question 2A, it says, explain 4 methods of primary market research Benji could use to find out if there is a demand for BB's service. We are told to mention method of research here, primary method of research. Okay, our method 1 is what? Postal questionnaire. Of course, questionnaire is the first method. Let's try and type that out and give our explanation. What do you know about postal questionnaire? Of course, you should know it's a set of questions to be answered by sending them to, it can be through a post to the people that want to fill it. Let's say postal what? Postal questionnaire. Postal questionnaire, and you put your column. It is a set. It is a set of questions to be answered by sending them through the post to a sample of people, to collect their ideas, answered to a post, to a sample, to the post, and to a sample of people to collect their ideas. Let's use ideas on the need for house building. That's the first one. Okay, another one is what? Interview. Another one is interview. Okay, let's try and put that out also. That's the second method. Second method here is interview. Okay, interview. By using interview as a primary method of research to interviews. Okay, using interviews now, BB will ask individuals who have visual difficulties a series of questions, either face-to-face or over telephone. Let's say it will ask individuals a series of questions, either face-to-face or over the telephone. That's also a method here. Okay, telephone. Another method is what? By using focus group, and also use focus group, that is a group that can represent the target market and ask to discuss the business to them. Let's type that. Also, we have the third method to be what? To be focus group. Focus group. Yes. primary market research, also focus groups, that is a group of people who are representative of the target market. A group of people who are a representative of the target market will be asked whether there is need to build the house. Markets are asked to discuss whether there is need to build, whether there is need for the building. Yes, whether there is need for the house building. That's another method to discuss. Okay. Now another method is what? Online survey. Of course, online survey is also a primary method used in market research. Online survey. Okay. Online survey. And this online survey, of course, it will require a target sample of potential consumers or customers that have either physical difficulty to answer the series of questions, but this time around, the question is answered over the internet. Okay, I don't think we need this now. Let's remove online survey. Okay, let's say it required a target sample of potential of requires a target sample of potential customers to answer questions over the internet. Yes. Okay, let's now see what we have in the other question here. Let's see. We have question 2B. Question 2B says, consider the following three pricing methods Benji could use for what? For BB's products. Which pricing method should be used? Justify your answer. Here we have cost plus pricing, penetrating, and skimming. To justify your answer here, you have to give at least 2 points for each first before you can choose the one. We tell them the advantage and the disadvantage. Okay, let's try and see. By using cost plus pricing method, of course, each house will make a profit for the business because the different costs will be covered by the price charged. Okay, the first point here is each house will make profit for the business by using cost plus pricing. Each house we make profit, for the business by using cost plus pricing. Okay, make a profit. Of course, it is also easy to apply because different markup for different houses. It will depend on demand. Let's pick one disadvantage before we can move to penetrating pricing method. By adding specific fixed percentage to the product unit cost, of course, the cost of the building new house may be high. That is also a disadvantage for the cost price what? For the cost pricing method. Let's say the cost of the building the new house may be high when they are adding the fixed percentage, that is, we are adding labor and such, and it can be more competitive, which can lead to the company losing customer. And also time taken to research also increase cost for BB. Time taken to research increases cost for BB. Okay, let's stop that and move to penetrating pricing method, where the price is set low in order to attract customer. Okay, time taken increase the cost for BB. Now we move to the penetrating method. Of course, as I just mentioned, it will be in lower price than the competitor. Lower price than competitor for each house, and I said it will attract customers. Lower what? Lower price than competitors for each house. Of course, that will attract customers and it will also increase sales, and due to that, market shares will be built quickly. Should be built quickly. Yes. Let's choose one disadvantage here before we move to the skimming pricing method too. Of course, as we all know, low profit will lead to low price will lead to low profit for BB when he's building his house. Okay, low price will lead to low profit per house. Low profit per house. Yes. Okay, let's see what we have for skimming method 2. Let's see what we have for skimming method. Using skimming price method here, of course, the price is high when introducing new product to the market, and the price will be set low as the competitors entering the market. Okay, let's see the some advantages that we have and just put a disadvantage. Okay, here when introducing the new houses, of course the house will be unique. The house will be unique to customers and they will buy it at that high price. It will be unique to customers. Let's use our application here with disability as it meets the requirement. Here we have disability. Have disability and they will be able to pay the high price. And this could lead to what? It will lead to high profit. To lead to high profit. And also customer may think the house adapted for people with disability is of high quality. Let's say customers may think the house adapted for people with disability is of high quality. Now let us choose the disadvantages also. Of course, high prices may put off some potential customer. That is one. High price may put off potential customers. May put potential customers. And here, when the house is set at a higher price, competitor may quickly enter the market to take the BB's advantage of being the first with the newly designed house. Okay, what is your recommendation here? Which one should we choose? Which one do you think BB should use? Okay, you want us to go for skimming? That is when they have specially designed house for people. It will be a new idea. Okay, let's try and put our recommendation based on that. Skimming, let's say skimming pricing method should be used. Skimming pricing method should be used as a special what? A special designed house. I don't want this. A skimming pricing method should be used as a specially designed house. Is a new idea. Is a new what? You can say a specially designed house for people with disabilities. Is a new idea. It's a new idea. It's a new idea. So BB will be the first in the market. Be the first in the market, and the high price will lead to let's say to an increase in its revenue before the competitors enter the market. Before the competitors enter the market. Yes, a new idea, okay, for the competitor enter the market. I want this to be competitors enter the market. Yes, that is the recommendation on price skimming. Okay, let's see the next question that we have. Okay, we have question 3A, which says explain one benefit and one limitation for BB using job production. Okay, one benefit, that is the advantage, and one limitation or disadvantage. Okay, the first benefit is what? A high price may be charged because it is individually designed product when using job production. Let's try and put it before we can put our explanation to. Okay, we have the benefit to be what? High price. High price may be charged because due to the high quality goods that meet customer demand. Yes, high price may be charged. Let's try and put our explanation also. A high price may be charged due to high quality goods that meet customers demand. And this can lead to what? It can lead to an increase, and this can lead to an increase in revenue. It can lead to an increase in revenue. Okay, we also have other benefits, that is, it will increase demand because it will be suitable for individually designed product where the product needs to meet the exact requirement of the customers when using job production. Okay, what limitation do you think can arise from using job production? Of course, it often requires skilled labor. It often requires skilled labor to produce the individual work. It requires what? We also have for explanation too. Okay, it requires skilled labor. It requires skilled labor. And our explanation here, having skilled labor, of course, higher wages will be paid, and that will actually increase cost. Let's say it requires skilled labor to produce the specially designed product which may lead to a high wages paid and increased cost. Increased cost. It may lead to a high wage. It may lead to a high wage paid and increased cost. Okay, let's try and drag this. Now that's our limitation. Of course, it can also take longer to make the product. That it may delay the completion in making the product. Okay, let's see what we have. We have question 3B. Using appendix 2, okay, we have seen that already. Using appendix 2 and other information, consider the two options for BB's first house. Which house should Benji choose to build? Okay, we have to go back to our appendix to see the house A and house B given to us. Here we have our appendix. Okay, this is one. This is one. This is appendix 1. And this is the appendix. Yes, this is what they are referring to. We have house A here. We have house B here. Here we have the timber cost, labor cost, all other costs, and the forecast selling price. Okay, now let's bring out some points here based on this appendix for house A. Of course, the first one that you can see here is the timber costs are lower at $10,000 rather than $20,000 for house B. Let's try and put it in a text before we can choose another point also. Okay, the timber cost, the first one is what? The timber cost costs are lower at what? At $10,000. $10,000 in house A compared to house B. Compared to house B with $20,000 compared house A. Yes, that's the first point. Okay, let's look at another one point using the advantages. Okay, let's see what do we have. In labor cost, we have $15,000. Okay, we have $20 here. Of course, using this, the labor cost is 5,000 lower than house B. That is also an advantage of building house A. Okay, another point. Let's put full stop here. Continue here. The labor what? The labor cost is 5,000 lower than house B. That's another point. Now let's see one disadvantage too. Dismiss this. Let's see one disadvantage too before we can move to house B and see the advantages and the disadvantages there too. Okay, let's see based on the profit. Here they have their forecasting price. The selling price is here. Okay, have the forecasting selling price, all other costs. labor cost, and the timber cost. Let's see. Using other information too, according to the question, of course, here we have the people that have the disability, and we have 10% that have the visual difficulties, and the 30% that have the physical difficulties. Of course, fewer people have visual problem because 10% of them are with disability. That is also a disadvantage of building house A. Yes, okay. Let's see. Let's put it down in text before we can move down to the words, because we can move down to the investment. Okay, let's try and put it here also. Fewer people have visual problem. Have visual problem because let's say fewer problems. That is 10% of the population are with disability disabilities. Yes, that's also a disadvantage there. Of course, the house also will not use all capital invested. Yes, okay, let's see for house B too. Let's see for house B. There are also many comparison here too for labor cost. I think we discussed that. And for the timber cost that is used. Also, all other costs being used by house for house A is lesser than the one to be used for house B. Now let's see for house B. Okay, let's see for house B. In house B, let's see what we have there. Let's see what we have there according to our appendix. Let's see, we have here. The first one is the larger percentage of population that has what? That has physical disability. According to the other information that we have here, as you can see. Okay, let's try and put it in text. Okay, a larger percentage of the population have physical what? Disability. Disabilities at 30%. 30%. Yes, at 30%. Yes. Okay, that's the first point. Another point that we have is what? If there is a popular design, of course, it may increase the reputation of the business in the future. Let's say a popular design may increase the business reputation in the future. Which can actually increase revenue. Now let's pick out one or two disadvantage also before we can move to our recommendation. Okay, let's check through our appendix one more time and see what we can find here. Okay, if you start with this labor here or the timber cost, you see labor cost is higher at $20,000 than $15,000 for house A. That's the one disadvantage. Okay, labor cost are higher at what? 20 at $20,000 at $20,000 compared to house A with $15,000, right? $15,000. That's one of the disadvantage. Okay, what other thing do we have? What other thing do we have? Yes, we also have the what? We also have the forecasting selling price too. It is higher in house B than house A. Okay, let's choose our recommendation here. Is it to build house A or to build house B? Is it to build house A or to build house B? What our recommendation is to be? Is it for building A or building house according to what we have discussed here? Let's see here and see whether we have a profit difference. Okay, here we have all our costs that will be subtracted from the selling price to arrive at our profit. For house A, if we had this, it should give us 63. Okay, so our profit here should be around $7,000. Okay, for house B is what? We have $100,000 for the cost, while we have the selling price to be 110. Of course, we have a profit of 10,000. By using the profit, of course, building house B will give a higher profit of $10,000, which is even 3,000 more than house A. Let's try and put that in our recommendation and see what we still have by building house A. Okay, building what? Building house B, as it gives the higher profit of $10,000 compared to house A with $7,000. The one with $7,000. Of course, it is also the house type that has the most potential for future demand. As we can see, house B has the highest percentage of people that has physical difficulty. Let's try and put it there too to fill this place. It also has the house type. It is also the house type Let's say it is also the house type that has the most what? The most potential, the potential for future demand. Yes. Okay. Since we have put our recommendation to and we have compared these two, hey, we have to retire this again. And also why people with disability visit the house built in location B, they will actually want something familiar, that is, it will be the most potential for future performance. Okay, let's see what we have. What question do we have left? Okay, we have question number 4. Question number 4A says, using appendix 3 and other information, explain 2 ways the depreciation in the exchange rate may affect BB. Explain 2 ways the depreciation in the exchange rate may affect BB. Of course, the first one that should actually come to your mind is what? The high cost of their imported raw materials. Yes, when there is depreciation in the exchange rate, of course, it will result in the import prices to increase, which can include the timber, also timber that they will use. The first way is what? Higher cost of importing raw materials. Now we have to add our explanation because we were told to explain. Okay, let's say depreciation in the exchange rate will cause a an increase in the import price. Yes, import price of, let's say, timber, what they are using, which could actually decrease profit, which could decrease profit, as the price may discourage sales. The price may discourage sales. Another way is the lower demand for BB products because of the high price. Okay, another way is what? The lower demand for BB products, lower demand. Depreciation in an exchange rate can also cause lower demand because there will be increase in the price of the goods, lower demand. Let's try and add the explanation. Okay, depreciation in the exchange rate can lead to a lower in demand because of the higher price of imported goods, for the imported goods, higher price of the imported goods. Of course, when the price of importing the good is also high, of course, the price that will be setting for customers to buy the product will also be high. Okay, the price of the imported goods. Now let's move to the next question that we have. Okay, we have question 4B. Now, consider the following three reasons, that is the one that is listed here, why profit will be important to BB. Which reason is likely to be most important? Is profit a reward for risk taking? Is it a source of finance? Is it a way to measure the success of the business? Of course, as a reward for risk taking, profit will provide an incentive to Benji. Yes, reward for risk taking, let's run as the text. As a reward for risk taking, it provides profit provide, let's see, profit will provide an incentive to Benji. To Benji, his father and his sister, for taking, let's say, for taking the risk of starting the business. Can also put for taking the risk of starting the business. For taking the risk of starting the business. Yes. Okay. Profit also provides a return for the risk of doing what? Of losing the capital invest in the business. Profit also provides a return for the risk of losing capital invested in what's the business? In the house building. The house building. Okay. Another one is what? By the profit serve as a reward for risk taking, potential investors will judge whether the profit is sufficient to be worth risking their capital. Now let's move to the source of finance. That is the importance of profit on source of finance. Of course, a profit also serves as a source of fund for investment. That is how it serves as a source of finance here. Okay. Provide what? Profit provides source of fund for investment. Yeah, it can also be to purchase non-current assets, to purchase investment. Okay. Provide a source of fund, no problem. Or purchase of non-current asset to build the house. That is, there will be no interest charged on the retained profit and no repayment. There's no need to pay back. That is also the importance of the profit as a source of finance. Also, there will be less need for bank loan. Let's say there will be less need for bank loan since they have their profit. Okay, is profit also a way to measure the success of the business? Okay, let's see. Let's try and bring out some points also before we can go to our conclusion. Let's see if it is a way to measure the success of the business. Of course, it is. It may help to make a decision whether to expand the contract of the business or not. Profit will help in making the decision of expanding the house building business. That is, if profit is low, it may indicate that the business will change to doing something else rather than expanding its business. No, house building. And also the profit can also judge the success of the business and persuade BB to award a pay rise to its 10 employees if there is a large profit. Let's put it in text. Also, the profit, let's say the profit may judge the success of the business and also persuade BB to award a pay rise if there is a large profit. You can see it is also a way to measure the success of the business. Now, what can you choose out of these 3 points and justify your answer based on it? Is it the reward for risk taking? Is it as a source of finance? Or is it a way to measure of the business? Of course, the 3 are correct, but you have to pick one, share, and justify your answer based on your point. Okay, let's see the source of finance. Profit is important as a source of finance. Let's try and put our conclusion on that. Let's say a source of finance is the most important reason, according to us, the most important reason, because you have to give your reason, because it will reduce the need to borrow money. It will reduce the need to borrow money, and that can actually do what? It will keep expenses down. It needs to borrow money, and this will keeps expenses down for the new business, to keep expenses down for the new business, as the profit serves as the serve as the source of finance. You can also choose the way to measure success of the business or the reward for the risk taken. Also, because it is unlikely to be any investment to build out for people with difficulty when the profit serve as the reward for risk taking. Okay, this brings us to the end of this paper. Kindly like, subscribe, and put your comments below this video, and also you can share to your friend to benefit from this opportunity. To visit our website www.edubbey.com. See you in the next video.